Do any of you guys actually listen to the recordings? Like, do you want me to keep doing those, or?
I have listened to them.
Okay.
Bits and pieces, not the whole thing,
Yeah.
but bits and pieces.
Okay. Like, if you want to check in on stuff.
Yes.
Listen to other people's dreams. I'm sorry, old man. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
That's okay. I give them to prospective players.
Oh, nice.
As an example of what we are about here.
Mm-hmm.
At least what we try to be. Because I've done other games, and it's varying experience, but
yeah. So do you think you're going to run a game for us?
I would like to. I'm still mustering my courage.
It's a leap of faith, man.
I know it's a leap of faith, and I kind of want to try maybe co-DMing. Because I feel much more comfortable after I've apprenticed something, and I've gone through with somebody who's already done it. So, in the end, I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I think I psych myself out.
I can appreciate that.
But it's also a big commitment, I want to make sure that I'm up for it.
I think the best advice I can give you, being a DM, is it doesn't matter how much you put into it and how much research you do to make sure you got everything right. The players are going to do something that's going to fuck it all up.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so you're going to have to throw it out the window anyway. So 90% of it is just fucking winging it.
Yeah. When you guys were in Vallaki, I had a whole dungeon set up for if you went to go rescue Mace's brother. And then the place got burned down by a mob. It's like, well, there goes that.
Oh, man.
When a big giant boss fight that you've been planning for fucking days.
One spell!
Turns out to be nothing and fucking boring. And, yeah. Well, it wasn't boring. I will say that. It wasn't boring, and it was entertaining as shit.
Yes.
But it just did not turn out the way I had planned.
It took a little bit of the wind out of your sails.
It did. I'm not going to lie. It sure as hell did.
Yeah, when your players figure out some way to, come out of left field and throw something at you and basically just floor your big bad guy.
Oh, and they will, because that's Murphy's Law. They will find it.
Well, and it's hard, right? Like, it's hard to know every single spell in the game and every single feature and interaction. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can't plan for this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the most prepared person in the world can't plan for every eventuality that every single player is going to do with their class.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You can't do that.
There was a movie that actually made a computer that did that, right?
Was there?
Was there?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, and there was a... God, well, it might have been an anime. Let me think about it. I'll tell you in a minute.
All right, well, let's get started at least. Hopefully Encyclo will wake up and show up.
He made a note that his computer is doing a mandatory update.
Oh, I missed that.
Here as soon as they're done.
Oh, okay, computer updates. Okay, cool. Who wants to give us a little recap of what you guys remember from last session? Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this a little bit differently because everyone roll a d20.
Oh goodness, I need to get in game.
Just a flat
d20.
Oh, starting out good. Yeah.
That's a 20, baby. Do I win?
Let's see.
I won, right?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Rolling d20s, Encyclo.
What?
And you know what? We'll give it to Faustus. He won it, So, Faustus, why don't you go ahead and...
I am definitely gonna roll. Dang it.
give us a little recap of what happened last session.
Okay. Alright, well, last time, that started with us ending the fight with Wicker Man, right?
You never actually fought Wicker Man, but yes.
Well, yeah, ending the fight that ended with us pulling the stone out of Wicker Man's chest.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so, alright, so we had that barbarian guy tied up, and we decided to let him go, and he ran screaming off into the forest, and we traveled down the way a little bit, and nobody was really too interested in the stone, so I just pocketed it. And then we traveled a little bit down the path, and we came upon this really crazy looking tree, and it turned out there was skulls everywhere around the ground. It was pretty metal, and yeah, everything was dead. Looked pretty evil. There was an axe in it. Pavel went up and he was trying to burn it down. So we all thought that was a pretty good idea. So we started to help, and then some of us thought that wasn't a great idea. And then the barbarian came back, and he thought that really wasn't a great idea. And I ended up accidentally killing him because he was struggling so bad, and that made Rhaegar sad. But yeah, so eventually we did end up quotations killing the tree because I don't know if it's really dead, but we did as much as we can do. So we ended up leaving and going back to the winery where we met up with the Marakovs. That's their name, right?
Martikovs, yes.
Martikovs, yeah. Okay, yeah. And Pavel was super happy about that. And we all decided to take a rest because we were all beat up. And I took first watch. Nothing really went on. And then Ophira took second watch. And apparently sometime during the night, stole the thingy that we gave. Oh yeah, we gave back to the Martikovs. The glowing stone, which was the seed that one of the seeds they were looking for. And yeah, I accidentally figured out that she stole it during the night, which apparently was a secret that nobody told Rhaegar about. Because he was just trying to find it, because that's what good paladins do. And yeah, that became a whole thing, and we basically burned the hell out of that bridge. And now I think we did get the wine, didn't we, Mace?
Yes.
Don?
Yes,
yeah, we did get the wine. Yeah, so we got the wine, and we're headed to the next town to go deliver the wine. Pavel is still with us, not too happy with us.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. So we're gonna see where this takes us. And we have the stone still. Yeah.
Alright.
Side note: I thought of the movie that has the machine that calculated all the outcomes.
What's that?
Westworld 2.
Oh.
Oh, Westworld.
Is that live action or
Live
anime?
movies have.
Okay.
Haven't you guys seen Westworld?
The Yul Brenner Westworld.
Yeah. Like the HBO show?
No.
Yeah.
The movies
Yeah, the
that it's
HBO
based
one.
on.
Okay.
Or Netflix.
Yeah. Here's the question that I have for you gentlemen tonight. Tell me of a memory you wish you never had.
Where do I start?
For Pavel, it's going to be just the whole recent set of affairs.
So be specific.
Specifically, Um, he has he he's a pacifist. He really is. But these events which came in the tree attacking, and he lost himself in his power recently when he's killed 2 men since his powers awakened, and he burned down this tree, and he's suspecting that he should have tried more to maybe learn these people's language, convince them that they were wrong, and taken a longer approach rather than just raising the countryside, so to speak. And it's not that perhaps that he doesn't wish that it happened, but that he had acted differently. And it's going to take him some time in order to come to himself and get over this shadow. He's the type of personality that bounces back, that is generally cheerful. But until he does get over this, his the personality that you experienced, which made the environment seem lighter, that gave you temporary HP, is no longer going to be active.
So, would you say, would it be the memory of the battle against them, or the memory of burning down the tree? At which moment did Pavel truly feel he betrayed his beliefs?
It wasn't so much an action that he did,
Okay.
but an emotion that he felt. It was violence that he took while under an emotion of fear.
Okay.
He acted when he was emotionally compromised, when he should have pulled back and counted to 100.
So it sounds like almost from the moment you arrived at the hill.
Right.
It sounds like. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong.
He was attacked. He responded. But yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay.
I can go.
Okay.
Okay, so Rhaegar, his memory that he'd like to forget is when he was younger. He came from a poor family, and it was just him and his father, and they didn't really have enough to survive the both of them. So the solution was that Rhaegar was given to the church. And Rhaegar understands that it was for a better life for both of them, but at the same time, he's never really I'm not going to say forgiven, because he has forgiven his father for doing that, but he does kind of think that his father gave up, and he is shamed by that memory of his father. So he, even though he struggled with him for however long they did to make ends meet. So he is kind of shamed by that memory. So that would probably be the memory that he would want to forget.
Is he ashamed of his father, or is he ashamed of how he feels towards his father?
He's ashamed of how he feels towards his father, because he's long ago forgiven him because of the church helped him through it, and he is an older man. So I mean he's worked through these issues. His father's long dead. He's but he still has that lingering remorse about feeling the way that he did.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a stain on his, you know, psyche.
Okay.
Guess I'll go. So I had explained to them about that while you were taking somebody off in a group. I explained to them about the whole like vision I had with my deity and the Leviathans and stuff. So I guess that would probably be my annoying memory right now, merely because I was completely content with writing this world off prior to that memory, and with that memory, it kind of makes me feel like this world needs to be saved because it's just being corrupted by specific entities. So it's like I was okay with just burning the whole place down, but now I'm not, so that sucks.
So you wish you had never been given the choice.
Precisely. Yeah.
Interesting. To save or to purge. Okay.
Mace's mother died in childbirth, giving birth to him specifically. He is the only child of a blacksmith. His father raised him, sheltered him a bit because he was his only child, and never really showed any disdain towards Mace because of that. He never really blamed him that he thought. But the memory that he wishes he did not have is when he was probably around 12 years old. His father was not a big drinker, but on his mother's birthday every year, he would kind of shut himself off a little bit. And so Mace would leave him alone for the most part, but when he was 12, he walked in on his father when he was drinking very heavily. And his father kind of went off on him a little bit and yelled at him and said, if it wasn't for you, she'd still be here. And that's a memory that he wishes he could get rid of. His father doesn't even really remember it and never acted like it even happened or anything. So he just kind of pushed it off to the side, but it is always in the back of his mind since that happened. And that's one memory he wishes he could purge from his mind.
Okay. And how about you, Ophira?
Well, I have all of this on my sheet, but from what she has started to learn, she's pretty sure the Green Man has already gotten rid of the memory she wouldn't want to have. But aside from that little glimpse that she did see, getting rid of that, the memory that she just had of, Strahd just casually finding her, asking her things, and then leaving and altering her memory. She'd really like to get rid of that.
He could make that happen.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, it's him.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is the sound good for everyone in terms of volume?
Yes.
Yep.
Everyone can hear the music?
I do not.
Pretty sure I have it turned down, but that's just me.
Papa Don, you can probably check your music in the master music volume level. You probably have it turned down.
Yeah, mine is turned down.
Mine is turned all the way up. Are you playing it through Roll20 or Discord?
Roll20.
All right, I'm gonna log back in.
Yeah, I'm hearing it just fine, and I'm on half volume.
Okay. So
I just keep mine real low, so it's like fully ambiance.
So the court is open. You guys, I believe we left pretty much right at the moment when you were going to leave the Wizards of Wine. If I'm not mistaken, let's see now. You left the Wizards of Wine after a long rest, and then you went to Yester Hill. So, let's quickly check something here. To get to Yester Hill would have taken you about 2 hours, and you were there for, let's say, at least another 2 hours. Coming back would have been to 6 hours. So if you 2 o'clock, we'll say that it's mid-afternoon right now. We'll say the sun is getting towards the point where in 1 to 2 hours it'll start to set. From your experience, it will take you in the range of about 2 to 3 hours to get to Kresk's, if that's where you intend to go.
And it's getting dark in what, 2 hours, you said?
About that. Like, it's 4 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, the sun will definitely be, like, dipping below the horizon. So it'll be,
it'll
evening.
Be dark there.
Once you arrive, it'll be getting dark, or it will be dark, depending on how quickly you travel. If you choose to go as quickly as you can probably make it there in an hour and a half.
It's like channeling Johann. We must not be out after dark. Well, if we're gonna go, we gotta get going, guys. Either that or we gotta find some shelter.
Yeah, I say we get going.
Pablo climbs up into the back of the cart and pulls a traveling light over his head without saying anything. Just sits down on top of the wine barrel and seemingly ignores you guys.
What are you guys doing?
Who's gonna be leading this charge? I guess out of character, who is really kind of like the tracker or whatever?
I suppose Ophira would probably be most well suited.
I just felt everyone look at me.
I guess I'd look at Ophira and be like, all right, well, lead the way. I'd jump up in the cart too, because I'm lazy.
I'm gonna hang out towards the back and guard our rear.
I'll just start leading, I guess.
Okay. And how quickly are you traveling?
I am not Johann, but I'm from here, and I don't want to be out at night again.
Okay.
So as quickly as possible without straining resources.
Okay. I mean, you're still walking on foot, so you guys aren't going to be straining the horses by any stretch. Okay. So you guys are moving at a fast pace. You're pretty much... Are you guys like... Would you say that you're running? Or are you just kind of like moving like as a speed walker?
Yeah, like a forced march, basically.
Forced march? Okay.
For those of us who are actually walking.
All right. You quickly move down the road, and the winery quickly fades into the forest behind you. The cold mud squelching under your feet as you feel the cold settling in, and as the minutes go by, all of you are kind of keeping this. Oh, Papadon's gone.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I'm
He
not
typed
very.
it in and said he'd be right back.
Okay. Oh, that's what I thought I heard a little note. There it is. So you're walking through, and all of you are kind of constantly like looking up to the sky and keeping an eye on the sun, kind of knowing that as it gets to below the zenith, risks increase. You know this, like you've been here long enough to know it's not safe to be out. Is there anything anyone would like to discuss or do during this travel time?
What do we know about Kresk? Other than they like wine.
Well, you don't know very much yet. You do have a citizen of Kresk with you, if they are willing to share with you. So if you want to ask that person questions.
I was actually talking in character.
Oh, I apologize.
I'd just like to mention that while Ophira doesn't think what she did is wrong, she still thinks that everyone else thinks that what she did is wrong, so she's kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, ignoring everyone.
Back in my notes.
Pavel.
He'll turn and look at you.
I know you don't think that what we're doing is right. All I ask is that you keep an open mind and try to trust us a little bit. If you're with us long enough, you will see that what we're trying to do is good and just. I know it doesn't seem like that right now, but give us a chance. I beg you.
He nods a little bit, and you see a hardened look around his eyes begin to soften a little bit.
Is there anything that you can tell us about Kresk that we should know?
It is fortified against the wolves. The mists, they're not quite as thick in the town as they are on the outskirts. But even there is no escaping Strahd if he should try to come and visit us. Everyone in the town is so scared of the wolves that I think that I'm one of the very few of them that has left the village at all that I know of. We grow trees within the walls so that we do not have to go outside to chop them. To give you an idea, and the waters inside are blessed from a magic pool. We have small game, some pigs, but mostly the only thing that will grow there are beets, turnips, other roots. They're not very tasty. The only thing that anyone appreciates in Kresk is the wine. And he'll look to Ophira a little bit. We have a burgomaster, Dmitri. He is a nobleman. He seems nice enough. I do not know him very well myself. But high up On a little hill is the Abbey of Saint Barkovia. It used to be a holy place. I think it still is. Somewhat. And people rarely go there. There is an abbot. He's a strange man. But people go there occasionally if they need help. But they do not seem to be willing to talk about what happens there.
It seems like I need to visit this abbot.
Perhaps. It's a little bit more involved. There is a story there. I don't really feel like getting too much into it at the moment. But a long time ago, it was a nunnery and it was destroyed. This current, I guess you could call him abbot, is more of a pilgrim, and he came about 100 years ago, if you believe the stories, and reopened the abbey, and he has been running it since then. Not aging. He can perform miracles. He's a very powerful man. If you go and you talk to him, be polite, please.
I shall, and thank you for the information, Pavel. I appreciate it.
100 years, you say? And Rhaegar gives Mace a look. Like, that's very interesting.
Seems rather fishy to me.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. Very fishy.
We will definitely have to pay this abbot a visit. But I promise you, Pavel, we will be courteous until we don't need to be courteous anymore.
Well, many people view him as a saint. So...
Could you tell us more of these miracles that he performs? And what God that he professes?
He does not come out of the abbey much. You go in, you talk to him, he asks for favors that you are not to disclose to other people. Nobody talks about it. And when you are done performing your favor for him, then the miracle happens. He can lift curses. He can restore your health if you are ill. He can do many things. There have been many miraculous recoveries, and many of the things which come from the mist do not venture into our walls. And that was not the case before he came. So, take that for what you will.
Thank you, Pavel.
Rhaegar, if we go visit this abbot, we must tread lightly. It seems like the people will be definitely behind him, and we must just be careful when we speak to him.
Very, very light. Very, very lightly. And very lightly. I'm just wondering if he claims to worship Lysander. That seems to be the major deity in these lands.
We will just have to see when we get there, I guess.
I assume so. No use dwelling on it now.
As you continue down the road, coming slightly out of breath from your forced march, you do see a large, torn carcass on the side of the road. Do you continue past?
I'll signal for them to stop first, and then I'll go up and investigate it.
Okay. It's a carcass of a quadrupedal, about the size of a moose, if you've ever seen a moose.
Yes, I have.
Most of the meat has been ripped and torn away. Several of the bones have been cracked and broken.
I want to try to figure out either what it was or what did it.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll either a survival or investigation for me.
Yeah, exact same modifier, but I feel like survival is more apt here.
Okay.
Oops, I'm still rolling to you accidentally.
That's all right. So you are investigating. You notice a large number of paws in the mud surrounding the carcass. They all have pads as well as nails coming out of it, and that's usually associated with oh my goodness.
Wolves.
Thank you. I was looking for canine. Yeah, usually associated with canines. The size of the paw definitely makes you think of wolves. There are some others that are substantially larger than the average wolf paw print. At least 3 times the size. Some of the bones, like the thigh bone, is cracked. The spine is cracked. A lot of the ribs are broken as well. And you know enough with your roll that it takes quite a bit of power, sheer power, to break a bone like that if it's just tooth and claw. Look.
Yeah, Fiona's gonna draw her bow and get back to the cart and be like, be at the ready. There could be danger nearby.
Are you guys going fast or slow?
Full fast at this point.
Full fast, okay.
Does it still look like recent or like maybe a day or two old?
With an 18, I'll say that you can recognize that it's probably been within a day. You can't tell if it's an hour or more. It's so cold. Like normally there'd be like flies, and that could tell you like an idea. But because of the cold, it's made it a lot harder to get an idea for its decomposition. So at least a day, you got that much.
It's wolves, huge ones, day, maybe more. Something that size would not feed wolves the size that they are. They could still be hungry. We need to move quickly.
So did you guys snap to it?
Oh yeah, I won't argue. We're getting out of here.
Well, I think Mace was driving the cart, so he's gonna take the reins and smack him on the horse's back and say, "Yeah."
Okay. The horses jump up and they start pulling. They start going by, and the smell of blood does make them a little bit skittish. Roll a animal handling check for me.
They're full.
Even though I'm probably right by the front, could I help with that?
Tell me how you would help with that.
Basically, like if I see them getting skittish, trying to buck, just like grabbing their reins to steady them.
Okay. You'll have to be running beside them
I will do.
Okay, so just roll a dexterity check for me, because running beside horses while holding onto them in mud is going to be a little bit iffy. Okay. So, yeah, you snap the reins, they jump up, they start running, they get a little bit scared. Ophira grabs the Jessies and they do settle a little bit, but now you are running through the woods and in the mud. And you're just going, and you're making quite a bit of noise. And everyone roll a perception check for me.
Oh shit.
An apt perception check, given where I am right now.
I'm dazed. I'm asleep in the cart.
All right. Ophira, Mace, Rhaegar, you all start thinking that you see something in the woods as you're running past. You're kind of catching glimpses of some forms of something. Luktara, you don't see anything. Pavel, you're so focused on the road and just getting home that you're not really thinking about much.
Alright, I'm gonna call out that I see something in the woods. And ask if anybody else sees it. Confirmation.
I see movement in the woods, all around us.
Along the trees. Eyes on the trees. Keep moving.
Ophira, you should jump in the cart and have the bow ready.
Right. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be acrobatics to do that.
Go for it. Ophira, you are able to jump right up. You almost do like a spinning, like sideways cartwheel straight. Actually, you know what? If you'll allow me, you're running right beside the horses, so you actually do a sideways cartwheel and land bareback on top of the horse right in front of the carts.
All right, that's cool. So, yeah.
So you're still going. You are running through the woods. It's very dark, and you're having a hard time seeing. You look to the left and you look to the right, and you just keep seeing these shadows and shapes. 1, 2, maybe 5 of them. You're not sure. You've been down this road before, and you know that maybe at this speed, 10 minutes, maybe you'll get to the town. Probably. There's still a little bit of light left. It's not yet night. It's still late evening, but the mist, the fog, the cold, it's hard to tell. Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
Mace is driving the cart, right?
Yes.
Alright, can I cast... I would like to cast lights. I have to touch it, though.
What do you want to do?
I want to cast light on the rein of the horse, so that of the horses. So actually, it like goes along like the reins of the horse. So we actually have like a almost light area, so he can see like around where the horses are, basically, and in front of him.
So, okay. You said light?
You know how the reins connect to the bridle?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I mean. But I would have to touch it to do that, and I'm in the back. So, can I do that?
Yeah, you can climb up to the front and go ahead and reach past him and touch the reins.
Alright, then I do that.
Okay. What color?
We're just gonna go with, just brilliant white light.
Mace, a brilliant white light suddenly goes straight into your eyes and everything around. You're actually having a hard time seeing as these whipping lines of light just keep like jerking around in front of you. You have to squint your eyes to see. But everyone else now has like a bright glow around the front of the cart.
Lathander's light, Rhaegar. What the fuck? I can't see a damn thing.
I can see. Just
You're
keep
right,
going.
it is Lathander's light.
Trust the horses. They know where they're going.
We're not going to make it without a fight. If anything happens, keep going no matter what.
I'm ready.
You're about 5 minutes away now, and the scenery is familiar. You swear that you can hear something in the woods just beyond your sight. Ophira, Mace, and Pavel, roll wisdom saving throws for me.
You know it's not a good save for me.
Ophira, you feel that you are being watched. But finally, within the last 5 minutes, you reach Kresk. The woods and road open up just enough that you see the gates once again. The familiar guards at the top. And no longer do you feel that there is something in the woods. Relief flows through you as the sun begins to truly set.
I think the light might have startled them.
I'm still watching the trees, just in case.
I fully am as well. I still feel like I'm
Yeah.
being watched, right?
For now, yes. For now, yes.
Keep looking
Alright.
behind me at them.
I'll keep my eyes out. Get us inside the city.
I'll call out to the guards. Ho there! We have the wine that you asked for, and we have Pavel. Can we be let in now, please?
You see the heads kind of poke over the sides of the gates. You're alive? Dear
Of course we're alive.
Did you see anyone on your way over? Is it only yourselves who are here?
Yes, it is only us, and we brought Pavel with us.
Mace.
I'll take down my hood and
Yes.
Okay.
show my face.
Roll an insight check for me. Okay. Mace, you see that something that you said has disturbed the guards. And when they kind of like talk in whispered voices, and one of them runs off. But you can see that something that you said has disturbed them. The one who remains says, "Yes, of course, you may come in. Open the gates." You hear the lifting and clunking of planks as the gates bars slowly are getting removed. 1, 2, 3. And the gates open, revealing the interior of the town. "Please, enter quickly. The night comes."
All right, I'll give the reins just a little tap so that the horses will start walking in.
As you step inside, you... how should I put this? Kresk is smaller than Vallaki. It's not quite so crowded houses and roads, like kind of like a crowded London. This is more a village where you can see a lot of little orchards, a lot of farming. There's still a lot of houses. There are some roads around, but it's a bit more rural. You can see looming high above Kresk an abbey that sits atop a fairly steep and high, just barely you can make out a walkway. There's a couple of square towers on either side above the gate with a peaked roofs flanked by a stone archway. And you see a few guards, 4 guards on top, 2 archers, and you see a few people milling around wondering what the commotion is about, given that it's so late into the day. It's quite unusual that the gates would be opened. And you quickly see Dimitri, who you had actually spoken with before. This is the gentleman who had told you to go secure the wine, come up to you.
Did he give us his name before?
I don't remember. However,
I don't remember.
Pavel did tell you his name.
Oh, the burgomaster of Dimitri.
Yes. So he comes up like, "Hello, welcome back. I see you have brought the wine, and we are grateful. I am the burgomaster here, Dmitry Kreskov. I am told that you also have young Pavel with you."
It is a pleasure to meet you, Dimitri. And yes, we have brought some wine, and we have liberated the winery so that it can start its production again.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. You and his head kind of goes down and he murmurs like a small prayer under his breath. I cannot tell you how much this means to us.
Wait, do I catch what the prayer is? Can I do a perception?
You can go ahead and roll a perception.
You. Oh man, I'm bad at that. Alright. Ooh, 18
Oh,
though.
look at that.
Right. The gestures that he makes, you don't hear the words. But you recognize the gestures as being in line with the Morning Lord.
Okay. Alright, just gonna file that away.
You told me, however, that you have a young Pavel with you. Is this correct?
Yes, thanks be to Lathander for his safe return.
Did you see anyone else on the road on your way over here?
We did not, but we were being followed by large shadowy creatures in the forest. We could not get a good look at them, but they did follow us, but they dispersed just before we made it to the city gates.
I see. Well, you are more than welcome to stay within our walls. It is late and dark and it is not safe to be out on the roads. You may stay at my house, please. You guests of honor with me, yes, please.
We could not put you out, good sir. We can go to the nearest inn if there is one.
We do not have inn. We do not have many visitors. Unless you wish to sleep in the mud with the pigs in the barn. I hear they can be quite warm. Please.
Mace will laugh. Giggle at that a little bit. Say, well, I appreciate your hospitality, good sir, and we will take you up on that offer.
Good. Welcome back, and like he comes up to the wagon, and I assume that everyone's still like where they are, like no one's gone out of the wagon. So he comes up, and he comes over to the side of the wagon where Pavel is. Welcome back, Pavel. May we speak privately, please?
Of course. Let me get down.
Of course. Jose, could you please show these people to my home? They are more than welcome to stay there. And one of the guards is, of course, Burgomaster. What exactly are you inciting, Mace? Like
I'm trying to get a good read on this guy. His aura. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It is a feel for him.
A feel for him. I mean, it's a very good
his
insight.
Sincerity.
His
sincerity.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
know, do I get a bad vibe from
I do like that. You're looking for a vibe check. Okay. He comes across to you as being... Actually, this is what I'll do. You notice that he is very focused on Pavel. His face comes across with the expression of concern and worry. When you brought the wine, you saw elation, and you saw his eyes focus quite intently on the wine. And he, as soon as he did, even before he got to you, he started talking to the guards, because like he recognizes the wine barrels. From what you can tell from his vibe, he seems sincere. Unless you're looking for something more specific, like your vibe from him is that he is sincere in what he has expressed.
Okay. No, that's good enough.
Okay. So, the Burgomaster pulls Pavel aside a good... I would say a good 50 feet. Like he basically is kind of pulling him out of earshot from the rest of you. Do you go along with him, Pavel?
I mean, of course. He's the burgomaster. He's the master of this town, and my family is, at his discretion. So I have to show him all due respect.
Mace is visibly a little irritable about that, but he is not going to get out of line because he is the burgomaster and the leader of this town, so he doesn't want to do anything, but he is very bothered by this. Okay. He doesn't really want to be that far from Pavel.
I need to quickly check something. Old man, quickly join me in general.
It's our first whisper.
Pavel, how long has it been since you left the winery?
It has only been It has only been a day. We went on a small adventure to help the Martico family to make sure that their wine was still flowing, and then it has only been since this morning that we were on the road.
And you came straight from winery. You did not go anywhere else off the road.
No, not off the road at all. There was a corpse on the road. It looked as if it had been attacked by wolves. And so we ran as quickly as we could to come here with the wine.
What kind of corpse?
It looked like a large deer, maybe a moose, and it had been chewed up. It
Pavel,
was,
my boy, we heard from the Martikovs last night that you and your companions had left to go back to the winery. Your parents, well, they were very upset and concerned. They decided that they would go find you, as they weren't going to trust you to some strangers. And now you tell me that you did not see them on the road to the winery. And so I think something may have happened to them. Now, your parents are very smart. They're intelligent and very capable, so I don't want you to worry, but as it is nighttime, we cannot go searching for them now. Come the morning, I will send some of my scouts to see if we can determine what happened, but I need you to understand that they went looking for you. They loved you, but they are... Well, right now they're missing.
he's just kind of stunned for a moment.
Do you trust these strangers?
Not on my life.
Are they dangerous? Should we have not let them in?
They're not dangerous to us, perhaps, but they are dangerous.
I mean, they
They're
returned you
powerful.
to us. They brought the wine.
So long as we do not have something that they wish from us,
I see.
I think that they will follow the Morning Lord's teachings. But if the reward is big enough, then they will break
Very
our
well.
holy.
Thank you, Pavel. For now, you must all be hungry. We'll go have some supper, and again, I promise you, we will send out scouts in the morning to try and find your parents.
Kind of looks over at his family home. Can I sleep in my bed for tonight? I need some time to think.
Of course, of course. Yes. Just, keep the door locked.
Okay. This I can do.
Alright, let's go back. Okay,
Maybe I could get a diamond.
so the burgomaster pulls Pavel away, and you see him get down on one knee and kind of is like whispering in low tones to Pavel. If one or two of you do want to make a perception check, you can, but he intentionally is trying to avoid being overheard.
I'm not going to because I really don't give a fuck.
Fair enough.
No, Mace is gonna trust that anything out of the ordinary Pavel will tell him.
Okay. You do see that Pavel looks shaken and a bit stunned. He was already a bit remote, but Mace, you've been keeping an eye on him quite closely. You notice like the change in his posture. And after about 5 minutes, the burgomaster comes back. Pavel, are you following the burgomaster, or are you going somewhere else?
Pavel pulls the hood over his head and he walks off into the darkness, and he doesn't look at the party as he goes.
Okay.
Somebody, I don't know, maybe we should follow him.
You must be hungry. Please, you come to my house. My wife will make dinner for us.
Where do we take the wine?
My guards will take care. No worry. We will handle it.
Is Pavel okay? He just walked off without speaking to us.
The young boys. We heard last night that you had all went to save the day, and he went with you to winery. His parents they didn't like that. They were scared, and so they went in search. But well, you did not see them on the road, and I fear that they have gone missing. It is nighttime, and so it's not safe to go find them. But in the morning, I will send out scouts. But the poor boy, how would you react if your family were likely dead and bones in the woods somewhere?
I would like to be a part of that search, if possible.
They will leave in morning, but we will be following the road. We dare not explore the woods.
We dare. Do we dare?
We dare.
Rhaegar looks around at the others.
For now, please, come, get out of rain. Come to my house. You must be cold and exhausted. Pavel will be, he's good boy. He will be all right. He's strong. Strong like gold.
The longer we wait, the colder the trail gets.
You wish to go out into the night?
That's what we're trying to decide right now. Does anybody else want to do that?
If you go
Or
out
do
there
we
at
wait
night,
until-
you are fools.
Well,
Are you Master
we
Tracker?
wait till morning. No, I am not. But we do have a fairly good tracker with us. This is why I'm asking if anybody else will go with us. If not, then we wait till morning.
I will not send any of my men to
want
death.
to do.
I do not think that going out at night is such a great idea, but I would like to speak with Pavel a little more on this. I would like to help him in any way that I can. This is not good.
Pavel told me he wanted to be left alone for tonight. You should leave the boy alone. He's... What do you know of him? We have seen him since he was babe. You think you know better than us?
I do not think that, but I will respect his wishes.
I fear the morning may be too late, but lead on.
Come inside. And the burgomaster gestures and starts walking away.
I follow.
As do I.
Okay. Let's, here we go. The burgomaster brings you to one of the slightly larger houses. Asks you to take off your boots and wet cloaks. Opens the door, and you immediately feel a warm wave of heat, and immediately reminds you of how cold you are. Please come in. And he gestures over to you. Isla, we have some guests. Isla, where are you, Isla? You scoundrel, where are you?
Mace will
Is this...
walk in and be respectful and take off his boots and his wet cloak and say a small prayer as he walks in the door under his breath.
You walk in and... oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is this a large home?
It's a cottage.
Okay.
It's probably the largest building in the town, but it's still modest. It's not a big cottage. It's got it's got some chicken coops. It's got some space for like a pig pen.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but the town, is it like roads paved, or is it like
no, dirt roads.
Dirt roads.
Dirt
okay,
roads.
Okay, all right. Got it. All right.
So mud roads.
Yes, right now mud roads.
Almost always mud roads because it's nearly always raining.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a good little hamlet, basically.
Yeah,
But the city is
you can
walled.
even see on the map. It's just a little thing.
But the city is walled?
It is walled, yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Just clarification.
No, that's totally fine, man. So he brings you in. You see a brown-haired woman, and he walks up to her. Anna, my love, and he gives her a big kiss. You be so good. You be so happy. We have guests. Please, we need dinner for them. Dinner. You see her kind of look over to you. Counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and you see her actually wince a little bit. She's kind of like, ugh. And then she puts a smile on her face. Of course, Dimitri. It's fine. Ayla, we've got guests. Make the table. And you see looks like a young 12-year-old boy kind of run into the room. Very thin. And he starts putting plates on the table. Oh, are we having dinner? Yes, my boy, we are. And he kind of looks over. He's a growing boy. He needs food. What can I say? I spoiled him. Please, sit.
Do they look spoiled? Or do they look very, very skinny?
So the son does look quite skinny. Yeah, he I wouldn't say full out malnourished, but he's a skinny kid. Yeah. The wife, I wouldn't call her. She's lean. The burgomaster, he's not fat. He does have some folds on his body. But it almost looks like just folds of skin rather than like fat, as if he's lost weight.
Yeah, so he lost weight recently, quickly. Okay.
Please sit. So, where are you from? And he kind of sits down and starts pulling out a bottle of water and kind of like pours some glasses of water. Ah, wait! And he quickly like runs outside. You hear him talk to somebody and he kind of runs back inside. We have wine again! This will be a wonderful night.
So when Mace sees the wife, he's going to bow to her before he sits down. Lady of the house, please forgive the intrusion and thank you for your blessings. May the Morning Lord bless this home. And then he will sit down.
You see her kind of blush a little bit. Oh my, such courtesy. Well, for the men and women who bring wine and a child of Kresk back, it's the least I can do. Thank you. Rhaegar, you smell beets. You smell beets. If you've ever had borscht before, that's kind of what you're smelling.
Okay.
Do you guys sit down?
Mace already has.
Yeah, I do.
Alright. She comes over and she puts some bowls in front of you, puts a really big heaping bowl of borscht in front of Ilya. And the boy immediately just starts like wolfing it down, and like there's like she puts a loaf of bread on the table and he starts like ripping it, like tipping it in, eating it. He just like starts diving into it. Dimitri kind of chuckles like, "Slow down, my boy. Remember to breathe." Gentlemen, lady, please. And he closes his eyes and puts his hands together. Our Morning Lord, please bless us, for our time is short, but our hearts are full. Please help us survive the winter. We face hardship, but we know that with your light, we will survive. And his wife also kind of puts her head down as he says this, claps her hands. The son is, again, he's just kind of wolfing the food down. And by the time he finishes the prayer, the son is already like holding his bowl up to the mother. It's like, and like, more? And she's like, of course. And she refills his bowl. My little miracle. The only thing, one of the brightest things in my life in this cold place of a land. And what brought you here? You are clearly not from Barovia.
That is quite a hard question to answer. I just seemed to wake up here one day. I'm here for something. Not really sure what it is, but Lathander will guide my way.
Ah, you a follower of Morning Lords.
I'll pull my holy symbol out of my jerkin and present it. A nod.
Oh, another holy man. Ah, you should go visit our abbot. Most generous and kind man. You know he saved my son from death.
I have heard he does many great things, and I am excited to meet him, but first, I must help Pavel in any way that I can. That must be second in line, of course. I hope you understand.
Of course. But you see him kind of already shake his head. Holy man, you must understand, not citizens like us, we do not have these weapons and armor like you. I did not tell Pavel this, but his parents very likely dead. They travel road to winery, and this is a day ago, and you not find them at winery or on road. Only other place they go in woods, and one does not survive in the woods overnight.
Well, until I see the bodies, I am not going to give up hope. Lathander at least teaches me that. Always to have hope. Tomorrow brings another day and a new beginning, and hope, my friend.
The wife gives a small smile to that. But the burgomaster looks at you, and he also has a bit of a small smile. You clearly not from Borovia. Life here, not like fairy tale story, like you say. But I will never say no to search for one of our citizens, and if this is your service to town, you may stay. Everyone must contribute in what's the expression, one way or another, and if this is your service, we welcome it. The son finishes another bowl and goes up to his mother asking for more. I'm sorry, sweetie, we don't have any more. I'm hungry.
At the cost of maybe offending them, Mace is actually going to push his bowl over at the place the boy was sitting and say, I just ate not long ago. I appreciate the offer, but the boy can have mine. I really don't mind at all.
Thank you! And he immediately runs over and just starts like wolfing it down. Thank you. Normally we would be able to feed my son as much food as he needs, but we have been having troubles lately. Less food, and the stores have been going missing.
Healthy appetite your son has.
He's a growing boy, I told you. It's not every day that someone comes back from the dead. You need to feed that soul.
Back from the dead, you say?
Oh, yes. My son, he came very, very sick. Very, very sick, and we... drops food, slowly head turn. Very sick, and my
and
wife
you say
and
your
I...
abbot
Sorry?
brought him back? And you say your abbot brought him back?
He gets a big smile on his face. Yes. A miracle upon miracle.
Correct.
I could not stand to lose a fourth child. We have already lost 3 to sickness, and when Isla became sick, there's nothing we could do, and my wife, we went and spoke with Abbott, and morning, Lord bless him, he laid his hands upon my child, one hand on his head, the other on his belly. and light just shone, and my son breathed. Anyone would have appetite after that. The abbot is a great man, great service to us.
I imagine it's hungry work coming back from the dead.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. You understand.
I do. I completely understand. I must talk to this abbot. He sounds like a great man.
Oh yes, he lives up in the monastery, up in the abbey.
Maybe tomorrow after we search.
Of course. The kid looks at you, Lokhtari, and takes his fork and like very slowly like pokes you as well and giggles.
Mace does the face palm.
And the kid kind of runs out of the room.
Alright.
Why would the kid run out of the room?
Because he just got poked with a fork.
Oh, okay.
He didn't run away like scared. He kind of like had a smile on his face after giggling and ran
Okay,
out.
he was giggling. Okay.
While you are out in forest tomorrow, please, I must ask also, if you see any animals, please bring them back. We very much need food. It's a big problem here for our village, and many sheep have gone missing, and anything you find in forest, please bring back.
Anything we can do to repay your hospitality, we will do.
Thank you. Alright, well, I'm going to go spend time with my son, tuck him into bed, the little minx. Anna, please, could you bring them to the side room? We'll put something on the ground, some blankets for them to sleep on, please. Of course, my dear. You, actually, Lokhtari and Mace, please roll perception checks for me. Ow!
Nice.
Alright, wow.
Nice.
Mace is like my role, and Lokhtari's like my better role.
I'm just still freaked out. I'm like very perceptive right now because like I'm dead.
Daniel and the cooler Daniel.
Yeah, my eyes are bugging out of my head.
Alright, I'm just gonna send you both a quick little message. There you go. There you go. So you both got the same message. Right this way. I will, you can use this room. I'm afraid that there's not much room for 5. We don't have a room for all of you, but, you can certainly make space. And she kind of pulls out some blankets, puts them on the ground, and like takes the mattress off the bed and like puts it down on the ground. So like you have like the under mattress and the top mattress, so that you basically have like 3 spaces where you could sleep, and like two of you could share each space. Is there... Go ahead.
How long has it been since we had our long rest?
Let's see. It's around, I would say, 7 to 8 p.m. now. You probably woke up around 6 or 7, so it's been 12 hours.
Okay. I will prop myself in a corner and not sleep at this point.
And not sleep.
Not sleep.
Okay. Are you planning to stay up the whole night?
I may. We'll just have to see how it goes.
All
From
right.
experience, I'll let you know. Don't do that.
Well,
right.
I am definitely going to be on first watch because I'm not. This is a new town, a new place. Something's not adding up. We have a child that was brought back from the dead.
Yeah, no, we need watches. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to stay awake and maybe pretend that I'm sleeping to begin with.
Okay. I'm going to put a short pause on you guys. I'm going to hop over to Pavel. Pavel, you walked off into the night. Where do you go? What do you do?
He goes to his family home, and it's empty. If you've ever, I'm sure a lot of you who are older have experienced this. Your parents might have died, and you go back to your family home after your family's no longer there. It's a very cold feeling. There's a lot to reconcile. It doesn't feel real at first. And you might be desperate to try and get back to the way it used to be. To try and restore those severed bonds. And Pavel, he sits on his bed for maybe a minute, breathing deeply, almost to the point of hyperventilating, thinking about how his desire for vengeance of sorts to save his friends may have cost his family. And he goes into the kitchen and he pulls out a bunch of empty pots. And he holds his holy symbol in front of him. And he begins to pray for something that will help him get as many people as possible to help him try and search for his parents tomorrow.
Okay.
And he's not sure where it comes from, but these pots and pans that he's gathered begin filling with all manner of bland fruits and maybe things that he hasn't ever even seen before. But the pots fill to the brim. And he sees the food. Tears kind of well up his eyes. He kisses his holy symbol. And he begins taking the pots to his neighbors and knocking on doors almost frantically, asking for help. I'm here, please take this food. And he realizes that it's a lot to ask for, but tomorrow, please, there is going to be a search for his parents. And to please, would you join?
How many homes do you go to? And for how much time do you spend doing this?
He's gonna probably keep doing it until people are too scared to open the doors to answer him. So probably about 30 minutes to an hour after nightfall.
Okay. About a third of the people, as you go in, open their doors, take the food from you, and kind of just stare at you with like blank faces. And they kind of just stare at you, take the food, start eating it, and then just close the door on you. Another third, they take the food and they're very grateful, and immediately, like, they'll mention it to people in the house, and like they'll hand the food out to them, and they all start eating it, and you get the sense that people are quite hungry. That people are hungry. And but even you giving them the food, they say like, I'm sorry, but I cannot. We told your parents not to leave. We told them to wait and to stay, and we are not soldiers. We are not scouts. We would. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And they close the door on me. The last third, similar story in terms of taking the food, and a few of them along the way, there are the guards and the scouts, and those, they'll say like, yes, of course, like we're going to look for them. It's planned. We're going to go searching. And I'd say you convince maybe 5 more people to go and help with the search along with like the scouts. But most people, even like with the food, like they're not going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, like you said, like you're one of the few people who's ever left. Your family is one of the more educated and brave families, and they're one of the few who actually have traveled between towns, knowing that like it's not instant death to like go outside. But most people don't.
Even the people who say no, if they open their doors and they didn't shut the door on him immediately, he'll give them a big smile and he'll say thank you for at least thinking about it. And I hope the winter is kind.
So by the time you do this, Pavel, a few hours have passed. Like it takes a while for you to haul all this food and water, and you're cold. Like you're really cold now. There was no fireplace lit inside your house. Usually this time, like people have been keeping those things going, wood burning stoves keep it warm, and it's. Oh god, I need to translate into Fahrenheit. Give me 1 second. I know Celsius, I don't know.
9/5 C plus 32.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a bit much to do in your head.
So Fahrenheit, I want to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so I'm going to say that's 23 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And it's not freezing, like it's not like, I don't know, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's cold, especially at night. So once you get back home, you're quite cold. You're very, very cold. And exhausted and just everything.
He'll get down on his knees and pray. And he'll use shape water to shed any water that he has on him off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll get as many extra blankets as he can, throw it over himself, and probably cry himself to sleep.
Did you eat any of the food that you made?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Damn it.
Okay. You go to sleep, and we're going to jump back to the rest of our team. Mace, I know you guys have been having a little bit of a conversation there. You may certainly continue it if you so choose.
I'm silent in the corner.
All right.
Just listening and watching.
I was talking to Mace about it, like under my breath and Rhaegar and them, because I was just kind of curious. I mentioned to him what you had seen me type.
Are the rest of you going to sleep?
I think I had a decent rest on the way over here, but I'm not sure. I mean, if I do sleep here, it's going to be definitely with one eye open.
So no.
You sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight.
All right, so Mace is staying awake. Who is going to sleep in that room? Who else is staying awake?
I'm going to sleep, but I have my hand on my sword.
All right.
It's a very precarious way to sleep.
All right. Rhaegar, are you going to sleep? Oh, Rhaegar's not with us anymore. He disappeared.
I think he said he had a phone call.
He did.
Yeah.
You're right, he did. Okay. Lokatari, so you said you're going to go to sleep. Mace, you're staying awake, and Ophir is going to sleep. Okay.
I'm going to stay awake for 4 hours just to keep an eye on things, and then I'll probably... Well, we'll see what happens in the 4 hours.
Okay.
To see what I'm going to do.
All right. The time goes past. Roll a perception check for me. You hear the settling of the building around you and the rain falling upon the thatched roof. The warmth of the building lingers as the fire in the wood-burning stove slowly starts to die down.
Is there a pile of wood next to it?
There is.
All right, I will try to slowly and quietly stand up and put some logs on the fire.
All right. Yeah, you're able to. You kind of crank open the stove. Oh, I should ask, are you still wearing your armor? Or did you take it off?
No, I took it off.
You did take it off, okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is probably the warmest that Mace has been since he's come to Barovia, so he's definitely going to try to keep the fire going. Because we have been miserable and cold and wet for most of the time being here, so...
That is fair. That is fair.
He's really enjoying this warmth, so he's going to make sure that fire keeps going.
Okay. You put more wood in, the fire burns back up again, and you almost right away feel the heat radiating off of the stove again.
As I sit back down in the corner, a few hours pass, and I'm going to... The warmth and everything, I'm going to do a Constitution saving throw to see if I actually stay awake.
Go for it.
Okay, I do stay awake.
Yeah. The heat makes your eyes incredibly heavy, and like you're doing like that head bob that you used to do in school, and like you're just like, you're staying awake, but it feels so warm and so
fighting.
comfortable. But 4 hours pass. Nothing sinister seems to have occurred.
And he's going to go ahead and just close his eyes and pass out.
Okay. Lokhtari, as with every night since the first night that you had your dream, you again wake up facing a table with the two boxes, the one that you made and the one that she made. The mist surrounds you, moving in waves, and it also seems like the mists are tighter, like there is less space to move around you. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I think I've decided to what was it was like give up on the place or help, right?
Basically to like cull the herd or to try and like save the herd.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably try to save it now after Miss Pavel and them. I hate it. It was so much easier when I just wanted to burn the place down. But
All right. Give me a moment. So you open up the box. And a white light just kind of fills you. And the mists kind of drift away and you fade into darkness. Ophira, your sleep remains undisturbed for once. Mace, you as well. Pavel, you have brief glimpses of writing in a book, sitting at a stone desk. Your long hair falling over your shoulder, and you kind of push it behind you, letting it flare across your back. You can't quite read what's there, but you know that it brings you hope. And you get the sense that it won't be there for very long.
Pavel will just try. He'll, you know, because he's feeling so sad at the moment. That feeling of hope, even though he can't read the words, he's going to try and latch onto it. And that mental exhaustion I was telling you about will probably recover.
Okay. Lokhtari, there's a new note available for you.
where are those at?
It should be available inside your usual handouts area.
Ah.
You found it?
Let me see here. Text handouts?
Yeah. Can you see it now? At the top? Called Bonds of Warding.
Yep, I see it.
There you go. So you all sleep, and You wake up. None of you took a second watch, and so you all kind of wake up sporadically. A little bit cool in the morning. The embers of the stove still red, but growing a bit cool. You hear the light pitter-pattering of steps walking around.
Is that undead kid?
You can go ahead and look if you want.
No, I'm just gonna be very aware where I'm sitting, like defensive.
All right. You hear just some footsteps. You'd have to leave the room to actually like see anything, but we'll say that Luktara, you're probably the first one to wake up, and everyone else around you is still just kind of like on the edge of waking up or not.
I kicked Mace.
What? Where? Who? What?
Strahd! Huh!
I just looked the other way like nothing happened.
Okay, I'm definitely awake now.
What? Strahd? Here? What? Here. Where are we? What happened?
Kelly Clarkson!
It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm gonna just walk over, suit myself back up, stretch out, do my morning prayers, brandishing my holy symbol.
Okay.
So I point out to Mace. I point out to Mace. I'd be like, since I'm not poisoned, I'm wondering if they didn't eat last night because they were saving their portion due to the fact they had to give us portions. And if that's the case, I feel kind of guilty about taking from that. Is there any way we could leave them some of our rations?
Well, that and the fact that their kid eats like a freaking horse, but that was not in character.
I think we should just keep an eye out and be vigilant. I wouldn't give away any of our rations yet until we see what the truth is here in this town.
Yes, vigilance. It's the truth. Like it. Do we still hear the footsteps?
Yeah. You hear people kind of moving around the building.
If we can get out in the woods and find some game to bring back, that would be a very large help to them. So maybe we could just pay back their hospitality that way.
Well, don't we still have to
Carcass is
Pavel's family?
Carcass. What did Rhaegar say? I'm sorry, I did not catch that.
We're still gonna find Pavel's family, right?
That is my plan. I would like to find Pavel as soon as we can and get out on the road.
All right. What's everybody else doing?
So, just to clarify, who is where right now? Mace is outside, I know that, because he's doing his prayers.
Yeah, Rhaegar would probably be with Mace doing prayers.
Okay. Loctario Fira, where are the two of you?
I'm hanging out by Mace.
Okay.
I still don't trust this place.
Okay.
I would
Probably.
I would imagine Ophira's still sleeping because she's gotten sleep finally. That's
I
on,
haven't
And
had it. I
I would
haven't
say,
had
I know
exhaustion for a while.
Mace is selfless enough that he'll throw himself in the way of danger. So I know I've got like a.
If no one else is no one else in the room still.
Ophira, if you stayed behind, yeah, you're the only one in the room that you were sleeping in.
Yeah, I would probably just be pretending to be asleep until everyone left, and then I'm just pulling out the stone and examining it because you know it's something to look at. I should probably know a bit more about it.
Okay. So for Mace, Rhaegar, and Lokhtari, you two went out, or you three went outside, and you, in the light of day, you notice that there's like a small little graveyard behind the house, there where there's 5 burial plots. You do your prayers, and you see some people kind of getting up and going about their day. And you can kind of see some guards starting to like put some stuff together. Ophira, you pull out the gem. Its green light kind of filling the room a little bit. Just roll a flat 20 for me. Okay. You stare into it, and you feel it. You almost feel like the light is changing a little bit. Like it's not a steady light. It's a light that seems to ebb and flow, and it seems to have like a rhythm to it, and it almost seems to go in a rhythm with your heartbeat, and thrum, 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 and it's almost mesmerizing how you feel you just kind of fall into it, and you get a sense of just energy from it.
Same kind of energy I get off the Green Man.
The same kind of energy you get off the Green Man. It's different. It's different. Like this seems to. It doesn't have personality. It seems to be more just a source of energy and invigoration. The Green Man, it's more. His essence is more of like nature. Which, while they have similarities, it's different. It is different.
All right.
You hear a knock on the door.
I put it away and go to answer the door.
You find Anna there. Hello, good morning. Would you like some breakfast?
I can get my own food. Where is everyone else?
I believe they are just outside. We're going to offer them some porridge. Give some energy for the search.
Right.
The rest of you find yourselves suddenly with the burgomaster behind you. Would you like some breakfast? We have some oatmeal.
I'm good.
Wait, he's just suddenly behind us?
Like, he comes out the door and, like, he approaches you. He doesn't, like,
Say,
suddenly teleport behind you. Nothing personal, kid.
Nani?
You'll need your energy for the search. No?
It is most gracious of you, sir. And Mace will eat the porridge because breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Lathander would agree.
I play.
Yeah, Rhaegar will have. Go ahead.
What was that? Sorry?
I said I would politely decline. I tell him I had enough last night, but that's just because I feel guilty because I don't think they got that much food.
Okay.
Rhaegar's gonna have a bowl.
Okay. Once again, you do notice a similar pattern of the son like wolfing down his breakfast, and the mother and father don't have very much. They kind of just like have like a spoonful from the pot, and the burgomaster leaves like, "Oh, very well. I will make sure that the rest of the guards are ready for scouting mission. I meet you at gates, yes?"
Yes.
Can I use Divine Sense while the kid is around?
Okay. I need to check something. Where are Scooby Doo? Where are you?
Got some stats to check now.
Jesus.
What?
Just that now. That's pretty stuck in my head.
I have a 5-year-old. You have no idea how much shit is stuck in my head.
I'm sure you lived with Baby Shark for many, many months.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
I have a friend who his kid loved that song, and so whenever I'd go over, he just had that playing, just the Baby Shark song constantly playing on the television, and I can't. I just don't know how.
Baby Shark song should be reclassified as a torture device.
Okay, Rhaegar, you smell a noxious energy coming from their son.
Cool.
It doesn't ring as undead. It doesn't. It's not really something you recognize as a species of creature. Like, it's a human creature, but there's a taint to him.
Okay.
And let's take a 10-minute break right here. Just a short little break before we get into like the scouting mission and everything else. So yeah. Bathroom, snack, and we'll meet back in 10 minutes.
I think I need a break. I'm just seeing this video and everything's cake. It's all cake.
All right, see you guys soon.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Alright, well, that confirms it. Dude's a necromancer. Gotta be.
I should have poked the kid harder with that fork.
Should have. If he bled. Kid, come here. Let me poke you till you bleed. Jesus.
I mean, I think our next path is when you go check out the Abbey.
Yeah, I think we should probably do that after we Try and find Pablo's parents, even
Good.
though we all know they're dead. They're dead.
Well, I actually asked when I found my mic wasn't working, which is why I was typing for so long. But what I was asking was, did they go out when we were at the winery? Because if that's true, they've been out for days.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to consider that it probably took time for the news that we were going directly to the winery to get to them.
Yeah. So they must have left when they heard news that, because he said they left when they heard that we left to save the day with Pavel. So we left with Pavel from the winery to go to fight the Wicker Man. So it would
Yeah,
have taken a while for that information to reach them.
yeah. Then we
Right?
got back from the Wicker Man. We spent the night at what's his face's house that we robbed, right?
Yeah. Yep. So either way, any way you look at it, it's been at least a day.
Wasn't robbed, it was burgled.
Semantics, my friend, semantics.
Legally, actually, no.
Okay, yeah, well,
Not that that kind of law
so,
exists in Barovia.
yeah, this is Barovia. How are we even gonna find a trail? Like, hopefully somebody knows which way they went.
So how suicidal do you think it is to actually like go out at night? Because I know he keeps asking us if we're gonna go out.
Incredible.
Yeah, pretty bad. The only reason I even suggested it is because it's in character for me to do so.
Every time we've been out at night, it's been terrible.
I was kind of hoping you guys would be like, no, so I'd have an excuse to not go.
No, everyone feels like Ophira is a tracker, but she's really not, and I don't think she would even go to do this.
You're the closest thing we have to one.
I'm not sure she would.
Although
I'm not sure she would even want to do this, really.
we do have a monk. Monks are good at wisdom, right?
Y'all?
Are you any good at survival?
Check. Survival is a 3. I've got acrobats, athletics, insight, and religion are my proficient ones.
That's still way better than what I have. I have 0. By the way. What about you, Mace? Or Don?
My insight is really high. Medicine is high. Perception is 5. Survival is 5.
Oh, nice. Maybe you should track Mace.
Definitely try.
Give you a little guidance.
There you go.
We definitely have to find Pavel first.
Yeah. Well, that's step 1, definitely.
I think Eric had to make it to where the create food was a little bit iffy, because if he didn't, then I'm just like waving my hand and solving the problem.
Right.
Doesn't it like taste really bad or something?
You can definitely do the food. Like that's totally fine, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but the magic is tainted, so it's gonna make half the people sick.
Why would you think that?
You maybe roll a Constitution check.
Dude, I made you roll a Constitution check because you were like in a freezing cold house under like just a few blankets.
Oh, okay.
And it was -5. No, that was just a roll against just how cold it was, and whether you would actually get a good rest or not.
Oh, okay. I thought the food was poison.
I did too.
If the food was poisoned, we would have been making con checks.
Yeah,
All right.
I saw when Loktar was like, "I knew it." It's like he didn't
Yeah.
have any of the food you guys ate.
Yeah, the food that I made. Yeah. So I made food with magic and gave it out to the village.
Yeah.
I think everybody's here.
Is Ophira back here?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I was a little
All
quick
right.
I was a little quick on the trigger on the poison food. I just wanted to be right. But
It was a very reasonable concern. Like I knew you guys were gonna probably think that when I told you that you noticed them not eating the food, but that's
I just assumed that was because their parents are like, yeah, we won't eat, so our kid can.
mm-hmm.
Did I have the only wholesome thought?
No, I thought as well.
has anybody seen Pet Cemetery?
No.
Yes.
No,
Read
I
it,
prefer
too.
I prefer to read and watch things that are spelled correctly.
Have you read Pet Cemetery? Because
No.
I feel like this is Pet Cemetery.
All right.
So,
Everyone's back, so we can start up again.
Mace is definitely going to finish his food quickly and bow to what was his name again? Started with a D.
Dimitri.
Dimitri. Say thank you for the meal, Dimitri. Can you point me in the direction of Pavel's home?
Of course. If you just go beyond the empty sheep pen, you'll find his house, the third on the right.
Thank you. And he will bow and head in that direction.
Okay. Pavel. You, I think, probably wake up a little... You're probably still asleep, actually, unless you make an attempt to wake up early.
I mean, he's probably borderline hypothermic at the moment, but he's too depressed to light the fire, so...
Alright, so in that case, you hear oh my goodness, Mace. You come to the house that you think might be the one that the Burgomaster was referring to.
Okay. I walk up to the door and I knock on it. Pavel, are you in there?
The door just kind of creaks open.
He will not step in. Yeah, the door creaks open, and what do I see?
It's a relatively small house. There's a pile of blankets in one corner, and it looks like you can see, Pavel's braid, just kind of sticking out the back of it. It's kind of hanging off the bed.
Pavel, is that you?
He's not really responding at the moment.
And he's gonna. You said I saw your braid.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm definitely gonna go in and check on him if I know that's who it is. I mean, if I guess that's who it is.
Roll an insight.
I will do that.
Yeah, you think it's him.
Okay, I will definitely go in and place my hand on his shoulder. Pavel, Pavel, are you okay?
He'll kind of groan, and he'll start to move. He kind of starts to sit up, and he's not even shaking at this point, but you can tell that his skin is turned a little bit, a shade of blue that shouldn't be there.
Pavel, you're frozen. Why didn't you light a fire? Here, and I'll start wrapping him up in blankets and wrapping him tight and rubbing my hand up and down on his back, trying to create a little friction heat. Pavel, I heard what happened. We're here to help. We're going to go out and look, but we've definitely got to get you warm first.
He'll kind of shake his head, like he's shaking off the days. The long dark almost took me. I think if I had stayed there for a few more hours. And eventually he starts shivering again, and uses his magic to light a bonfire in the fireplace. It takes several minutes before the color starts coming back into his cheeks.
Well, Mace is going to actually walk over and start throwing wood into the little furnace to make sure that the fire stays lit and some warmth gets going in this home.
Okay.
Pavel, I know everything seems bleak right now, but we can't lose hope. The Thunder will guide our way, and we will help you look. We must look. We can't quit.
And at that point, he kind of blinks the sleep out of his eyes, and he's like, "Right, we will find you, or not, but we will look." And he seems to steel himself and seem a bit more hopeful.
Is any of the food that Pavel had created still there? Or did he give it all away?
That's up to Pavel to decide.
Because Mace is going to make sure that he gets something to eat.
There's probably a little bit left over from where some people wouldn't open the door to him because it was too late at night.
Pavel, you have to keep your strength up. You need to eat.
Okay, so he'll eat some of the bland food again. He'll choke it down with some water. And he'll nod.
I am going to go gather the others, and we are going to meet at the gate so that we can start the search.
That'll be with you as soon as I get dressed.
We will meet you there. And he'll look into Pavel's eyes and nod, and then walk out to go find the others and meet at the gate.
Okay.
With an 18, you would probably see a lingering distrust, but the depression that seems to have consumed him yesterday is largely faded and replaced by something that seems like maturity.
that will give Mace a little bit of hope. And he will find the others and find out who is going on this little expedition and who is not.
Okay.
I found Pavel. He was not well. I've gotten him warmed up, and he will be meeting us at the gate. Who is going to help the search?
I will.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't hear who spoke there.
Peter's Europe.
Okay. And so you see the burgomaster there, and there's about 5 other people who are around who you don't recognize. 2 of them are guards, and 3 of them seem to kind of just have some travel clothing, and they're kind of looking over a spot on the ground where they're kind of making like this rough shot map, trying to figure out like the path to take. You see a few shops where people are starting to open up and poke their heads out looking at what you're doing, and the burgomaster comes over to you. Holy man, may I speak to you privately, please?
Yes.
So he pulls you over. You may not find what you are looking for out there. Or worse, you may. Can I trust you to take care of the boy if he should find terrible news?
I am going to stay very close to him, and while we are searching, I am going to make sure that he understands that things may not turn out the way he hopes, but we will try to stay positive, at least. I understand that this may not turn out good, but we at least have to try, and I will take care of him, I promise.
And why are you doing this? What how you say is in it for you?
There is nothing in it for me. I do this because my God asks this of me. I have to show people Lathander's light and his goodness, and I ask nothing in return. And that will get me into Lathander's realm when my time in this world is over.
He stares at you for a good 10 seconds. So you honest man.
I try to be as honest as I can.
You will not take anything from our village.
I will not take anything that belongs to you that is not evil and detrimental to your well-being.
Now that makes them definitely stare at you a little bit longer. And what is it that you think is not good for our well-being?
He kind of chuckles a little bit and says, I have not seen much good in Barovia since I have been here. I am only trying to cleanse it. And I have run across some things while being here that exude evil and poison the things around it. I can't say that I wouldn't destroy or get rid of anything like that. I can't lie to you. But I have seen many terrible things since I've been here.
Tell me, holy man, who have you helped while you have come to Barovia?
We have helped the winery and the people there get back into their homes. We have helped get a young lady to safety. At least we think that she is safe at this point. I can't say for sure that she is now, but she was when we left. We have not done a whole lot of helping since we've been here. But we have definitely tried. And we will keep trying. Promise you this.
And who have you hurt while you have been here, holy man?
I would say I've probably hurt myself.
Ha!
And we have made a few mistakes along the way, but we are still learning this place that you call home.
Let me tell you something, holy man. When you are in Barovia, everyone has hurt someone. The next time someone asks you, better that you be honest than hide behind words. Everyone hurts someone else. That is the way of Barovia. Best that you face your own nightmares. But you have convinced me that you are here to help. Let us go try and find Pavel's parents. And he starts walking back towards the group.
Mace is going to kind of get lost in his thoughts for a few seconds. Not long. Place is really wearing on him, but he kind of thinks about what he said and doesn't really like it much, but facts are facts. And then he'll kind of shake his head, kind of come back to reality a little bit and decide it's just time to go. So he walks back to the group.
Okay. Is everyone there? Is there anyone, I should say, who's not at the gate? I don't think Pavel's...
I'm not.
Pavel is staggering out just about now.
Okay.
He's kind of making his way over.
And Ophira, I think you said that you were not.
I am not.
Okay. What are you up to, Ophira?
Trilogy.
I don't know. I don't feel like it would be my place to go with the search party, but I also don't exactly know what I would do otherwise.
It's up to you. That's okay.
I think I might not, just like not go with them, but like after they leave, just follow behind them.
Okay.
Abby is not something that is at all remotely interesting to me.
Oh no, you should definitely explore that place alone.
Okay, sure.
Sounds...
Okay, let me just walk into this basement all alone.
Turned out so well last time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna follow them and join it without joining it.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy as you do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if it's the same for anyone else, but I have a black screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'll make it,
Not that stealthy, but I don't think it matters because I'm leaving like 5 minutes after them. Imagine rolling a 2 on your stealth.
Can everybody see it now?
I don't see anything.
I'll
Being where we're supposed
refresh.
to put our guys.
I'll refresh the page real quick.
I mean, it's just a map of Kresk that I just want you guys to actually be able to see.
Refreshing.
Daylight mode.
Just says loading special engine effects or something.
No, still all black.
Sometimes, Roll20, you are annoying.
All black like the inside of my soul.
How do I fix this? Yeah, I guess you can drop your tokens on the board. Like, it's a little disappointing, but
Just anywhere?
yeah, anywhere.
I still don't see anything.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, when I drop my character, it all opens up.
Okay. All right. There you go. So that's what Kresk looks like.
I don't have anything.
So
It was
the Burgomaster comes together. We will begin by searching the road. This is where they said they were going to follow to go to the winery. We will look for tracks and see if we can identify where they left road. Stay together and do not go in forest. Any questions?
They said that they were going to go to the winery to look for Pavel, right?
Yes. This was 2 nights ago.
Did not see anything on the road except for a carcass of a dead animal on the way. So I would imagine that there's not a lot of travel in and out of Kresk.
Correct.
So maybe a couple days old, we might see their tracks. Because did we come in? There's only one road in and out of here.
Yeah, so what you see on the map, that little twisty road down to the bottom there.
Yeah, that's where we entered when we came in the wagon, right?
Yeah, you came in from the east side.
I guess I'm going to check for tracks going the other direction.
So heading towards the west?
Well, yes. The way towards the winery, because our tracks and our wheel markings would be coming the other way. So
okay, so you're heading back towards the east then?
Yeah, we're heading back towards the winery.
Okay.
So, survival?
Sure.
Or...
Who wants to help him with this?
Pavel will lean over and help him with that. He's going to place his hand on Mace's back and...
Guidance.
Sure. Guidance. You can go ahead and roll with advantage as well. You've got a bunch of people helping you. Let's see if you find anything.
So the first one's 14 then with the 1d4, and I'll do another. 18 and 22.
Okay. Ophira. So they leave the gates, but the gates close behind them. How do you plan on sneaking out so that you can follow?
Fair point. The walls go fully around the city?
Pretty much. Like, if you zoom in, you can see that they kind of end at where the switchbacks go up.
I still can't see the map.
Really?
Really?
There's a couple of little holes in the walls that you could probably go out.
Basically, if you were to follow the wall to where the escarpment goes up towards the abbey, the wall stops there, and you'd have to like climb uphill and around some trees and hills and then go back down.
Then I'd probably do that.
Okay.
As soon as I reload back in the game, so I'm just making sure it's not my side on that's making it so I can't see. No,
check your token. Can you see now?
I can see my token.
It might be loading. Anyway. Yeah, there's a couple little holes in the walls.
Yeah.
All I can see is my token in a sea of blackness. I'm gonna switch to my laptop and see if that helps.
It's okay. You get the idea.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are going at a slow pace to do this search, and you're all kind of looking along the road, and it's muddy, it's wet, it's difficult to find tracks because you also came through here with the wagon, so you have like horse hoof footsteps, you have the wagon wheels. For the first hour, you don't find anything. In the second hour, you're walking along. You eventually make it to where you found that corpse. Few of them take a look at it. I mean, it's a corpse. But there's not much meat on there. It's not even worth bringing back to the town, so they just kind of leave it. And you still don't find anything.
As we're walking, Mace is going to stay quite close to Pavel, and he's going to be talking to him. Pavel, I still hold out hope that we may find your family. but there is a chance that things aren't going to be well. Just keep that in mind, okay? I've got you. I'm here. And I will do everything in my power.
My parents, they also carried a symbol like mine. Is it possible that Rhaegar, I believe his name was, perhaps he can use whatever magic he used to find the stone to try and locate another one of these?
Rhaegar, come here.
I saunter on over.
Pavel has
Yes.
an idea. Tell him what you told me, Pavel. Maybe he can help.
Pavel will repeat it, and he'll show his symbol to Rhaegar.
Is it just the symbol, or is it an actual?
It's an object.
It's an object? Okay.
Yeah, it's a carved object.
Alright, well, I think as long as I stare at it for a little while, I might be able to.
Alright. Yeah, so you can take 15 minutes and you fix the object's image quite well in your mind. Do you cast your spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Locate objects.
Obviously, immediately you sense the object in front of you. But you kind of reach past it, looking for other ones that are just like it. And your range expands and expands. And you actually do sense a resonance about just towards the edge of your range, about another like maybe 900 feet down the road.
I do sense something that in that direction. It's very, very faint. Is it moving at all?
No.
Or is it stationary? It seems to be in one area, though. I think perhaps we should check it out, at least.
Very well, let's go. And the scouts move ahead, and the burgomaster follows along. Lead the way, Rhaegar.
Yeah, the spell lasts for 10 minutes, so I'll be okay with this. Alright, so we head on in that direction.
Okay.
I'm holding the spell.
Okay. So you get to, you're walking along, and you actually recognize the site. It's the same site that you met the Marketovs at. Like, it's leading you to that campsite. And you get there, and you see the fire rings. You see the leftover stains that... Well, actually, at this point, you don't see the stains anymore from when you last investigated this area. The rain would have washed away any blood or anything. But you recognize that it's a campsite. And in the grass, you find the symbol. The chain broken. And Mace... Hello?
Yeah?
No, just there was a weird sound. Mace, he... With that survival check, and with everyone looking around, you find those large wolf tracks again.
down and pick up the symbol, and they'll say, "This is it. They were here."
Looking around, actually, what are you guys doing at this point? I should say.
Do I sense any other things on the spell now that we're closer?
No.
Or presumably closer? Okay. I'm gonna hold it anyway for as long as the duration. Just in case.
Mm-hmm. The scouts spread out and start looking around more in the surrounding area. Hey! I found something! And one of the scouts calls out and the others gather around towards him.
Yeah. Head over and take a look. What do you think?
Run over there.
You arrive there and you find he's holding up a backpack that's been shredded. Like a bunch of items kind of just like strewn, like some rope, some flint and steel, a knife. And there's some blood staining the backpack as well. But that's all.
Pavel will pick up the knife. He says, "My father's knife." He'll strap it to his waist. He'll take a deep breath. Borovia takes from us all.
Seems time to head back then. Not much else to find here. The scouts kind of pack up whatever's left over and start heading back to the road. Sorry,
it?
Pavel.
Oh. No.
He nods. And gathers what remains of his father's things. Puts it in his own pack.
And with that, I think we will end tonight's session.
About how far behind them am I?
I would say that you are, honestly, probably a good 30 to 45 minutes behind them.
Alright.
Although, if you were moving fast, you could probably be like only 5 minutes behind them. Because they were moving quite slowly. So it depends how fast you're going.
Probably a middle ground there and like 10 to 15 minutes behind.
Sure.
Back.
So we actually finished the session, Mace. They found a campsite with the holy symbol of Pavel's father or mother on the ground. Some strewn camping supplies with some very, very large wolf tracks in the area. And the backpack had some blood on it.
Oh no.
The scouts are now heading back to Kresk.
Welcome to the Father Went into the Woods and Never Came Back Club, Pavel.
Any
All right.
questions, concerns, or feedback?
You really like killing parents.
To be fair, if they were still alive,
Yeah.
he might not have joined you.
You know, they're probably... Nah. I'm not gonna say it.
Werewolves.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably werewolves.
I mean, you'll just have to find out.
3 times larger than a normal wolf and capable of snapping bones easily. Sounds like a werewolf to me.
Or a dire
Fira
wolf.
would know.
Yeah, or a dire
Fira
wolf.
would know. Dire wolves don't have a bite force to snap bone.
I'm thinking the Burglemaster's undead son.
He's like rolling boy.
He needs his human flesh.
Well, yeah, just poke him with another fork there.
Eat him. Yeah, Ophira would know werewolf tracks. Her sworn enemy is one.
Yeah. And besides, I think I've only
Sworn.
killed... Whose parents have I killed? I mean,
Mine.
Ophira, you came in with your parents dead. Or your dad dead.
That technically counts.
And you killed Johann, which was a parent.
Johann, which is a parent. The person Johann gave to the night hags, you killed her parents.
Her parents died in the riots that you
Which-
guys triggered.
So we killed her parents.
But you decided that her parents died in it.
I suppose that could be interpreted that way.
But we can, well, you guys can split that blame 50-50. I take no blame in that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you
Ophira
very
didn't
much.
start the fire.
I had a great night. I appreciate y'all.
Hope it was able to distract you from your week.
Oh, yeah, it made it much better.
Good, I'm glad.
I've been working all week.
Alright, well, fortunately it's the weekend. Hopefully all of you guys get some rest and relaxation. I'll try and post this recording probably tomorrow at this point. And if you want, you can listen on any secret convos we had.
That's specifically, that's kind of why I haven't been watching them, just because I don't want to hear anything from those.
That's also kind of why I haven't been as well.
To each
Don't want
their
any
own.
spoilers.
I'm gonna watch them at the end, though.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely gonna go through all of them and probably save them on my computer.
When we do get to the end, whether it's through victory or loss, you're welcome to ask any questions about anything in the campaign, and we can go over what was going on in the background then if you want.
Honestly, the campaign that I'm running bi-monthly on Sundays, I'm really interested in, and I think people here would love it.
Nice. Which one is it?
It is not Savant. It's in the same world, though.
Okay. And yeah, by the way, guys, like, thank you for sticking around for over a year. I just realized as I was going through everything that I posted this last July. So we've been going on for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
only one player died.
One player? Yeah, I guess that's true. Alright, have yourselves a good night, and take care, fellas.
Alrighty.